the black light, let the Dungeons and the Dragons begin. It's D&D, fighting with the legends of yore.
Hey guys, it's RockTheGolem, and welcome to Sword Coast Legends. I'm actually really excited about this playthrough for two big reasons. One, I've been waiting for this game for quite some time. I'm a big D&D fan, as some of you may know, and the fact that this game is actually supposed to be really close to a D&D experience, not just in the rules, but in the gameplay, where there are actually going to be 4 players that can play at any given time, and a 5th player can actually be the DM of the game, so they control what happens in the dungeons that the players run through. Now, I'm going to be pretty much doing the single-player mode, because unfortunately I don't have 4 other people lined up to play with, but at some point, I may end up jumping on to the online modes and see what happens. Figure out how that plays through. But right now, I'm just going to stick with the single-player mode. The other real reason why I'm excited about this playthrough is because this is going to be my first playthrough as an official member of the Legends of Tabletop Broadcasting Network. I've known members of this network for quite some time. It was originally just the Legends of Tabletop, and they've since decided to branch out. John, who I actually play a game online of D&D with, plays a gnome rogue. I think he's a gnome. Yeah, gnome rogue named Galen. He invited me to be a part of the network as one of their official Let's Players. So I figured, hey, why not? And being that I am now a part of a network that originated through tabletop games, especially D&D, I figured it would be very suitable for the first game I play to be D&D related. There's actually another reason why I'm excited for this playthrough too, and that's because I'm going to finally be on camera on the screen. I tried it once with the Rake when I did a single playthrough of that, and it worked out fairly well. There was still a couple of kinks I wanted to work out, and I don't think I ever actually ended up working those out, so this playthrough may have a couple of issues, it may not. Like I've always said, this is very much a hobby of mine. It's a learning experience. It's a continuous learning experience. So it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be on the level of Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or Game Grumps or anything like that. But I'm just going to do what I can do and hope you guys enjoy it. That being said, let's get into the gameplay. So this first episode is pretty much just going to be restricted to, I'm assuming, creating my character. And if D&D has taught me anything, it takes a tremendous amount of work to create a character. I've literally spent days on end flipping through books, looking up guides and strategies online, figuring out how it is that I want to build and play my characters. I wouldn't say that I'm an expert by any means, but there are 2 things I like to do. One, I am an expert min-maxer, which means I like to get the most effect out of my character with the least amount of penalties possible. And I have been known as a rule lawyer, which means that, and now that's not the negative connotation of rule lawyer, which for those of you who don't know, is basically the person that sits around the table and says, oh, no, you can't do that because right here in the book it says this rule. Rule lawyer is used by my group as a walking reference guide, where if we don't know what the answer is, Dave, what does the book say? I already know what it says because I've read through the books so many times. Like I said, it normally has a very negative connotation because the rule lawyer is like the asshole of the table. I try not to be an asshole with the rules, but if someone needs to know the answer, I will be more than happy to tell them what it is. Oh, God, why is this taking so long? Uh-oh, screen just went black. It's never a good thing. Or maybe it is a good thing, I don't know. Is it loading? What's happening? This is bad. Someone call tech support. Alright, that was a painfully long wait. Okay, so let's see what we have here. With gender, class, race, subrace, and background. So I'm going to be playing a male, because I am a male. Although part of me wouldn't mind making a female character. I do have female characters that I've made for D&D games in the past. Particularly when I used to play Neverwinter Nights back on the PC. Class. You know what? What do we have here for classes? We got the Paladin, the Wizard. It won't let me click through until it loads. Wow, that's unfortunate. Either it's because I'm running 3 programs at one time, or maybe the game just isn't optimized. I don't know. But that's painfully slow. So we've got the Paladin, the Wizard, the Rogue. I'll tell you guys right now, I typically like character classes that are capable of doing more than one thing. Fighters are always good to start out with. There's my Cleric. Clerics, I love. They can pretty much be anything you want them to be. They can be healers, they can be battle casters, they can be tanks, they can be melee characters, melee fighters almost. Oh, and there's the fighter. Speak of the devil. The nice thing I like about 5th edition is they actually ended up giving almost every class kind of a way to heal themselves. So while the cleric was made to be, the primary healer of the group, or you could be built that way, every class seems to have a way of healing themselves now. So ranger, okay, back to the paladin. You know what? I've always loved playing a cleric. I haven't really looked too much into the cleric of 5th edition before now, actually, but I'm going to roll with a cleric because that's one of my favorite classes to roll as. For race, I'm probably going to go with a variant human. Just because I like, you know what? I don't know. What do I want to do? Oh, good. And the game has already crashed. Fantastic. Balls, 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 balls. 6 minutes in and it's shit. Alright, and it's back. So the crash actually turned out to be kind of a good thing because things have actually been loading a lot faster since I got the game back up and running. While everything was reloading though, I did decide to make a quick split-second decision. Instead of doing cleric, I'm actually going to roll as fighter. The reason being is because despite the fact that I did a playtest game as a cleric at PAX East 2013 or 14. I forget which one it was. But the game hadn't been fully fleshed out at that point. It was still very much in development. The only class I've actually played as a 5th edition character has been a fighter up until this point. It was actually a Goliath fighter. And I liked playing him too because I played him as an Eldritch Knight, which was awesome. I really would like to play a Warlock, but they don't have that as an option. Wizard is there, but they don't give, I'm not really that big into wizards to begin with. But I decided I'm going to go with a human variant fighter. And one thing I really don't like about this game already is that you're just kind of picking things at this point. It's not telling you what it is that each one of these things gives. There's no, little... Oh, wait, hold on. Oh. If you hold the mouse over it, then it'll tell you what the thing is. So, male, the world of Faerun, men and women are equally capable in all classes, yes. So a fighter, okay, so now we can actually see what the hell is going on. It would have been nice if that was made a little more apparent. It didn't pop up until I actually sat there and started to screw around with the keys. But anyway, master of martial combat, skill with a variety of weapons, proficiency in all armors and shields, proficiency in all weapons, and save proficiencies are strength and con. Let's take a look at the cleric, just because we can. They only go up to medium, which I'm not used to at all. I think that was a 4th edition change that carried over. I don't know. Simple weapons, wisdom, and charisma. A priestly champion who wields divine magic in service of a higher power. Screw it. You know what? The video game's obviously going to be a little different from the actual book. Yeah, let's go cleric. Why not? And an outlander because that's the only background I'm used to playing. Oh, now we get to do our appearance. So yeah, this episode is really going to be nothing but us just making our character. So, alright, yeah, that's kind of my skin tone. Maybe, yeah. I don't know how it looks to you guys on camera. I'm just kind of guessing at this point. Complexion, can we zoom in? Sure we can. Why not? See how pretty the game looks. Complexion doesn't change. Oh, okay, there we go. A couple of them have changes. A little wrinkle with a scar there. Ooh, smooth face. Nice look. I don't see any difference between 1 and 3, though. The crick in the neck, that's about it that I see. But alright, we'll go with that. Hairstyles. Ooh, okay. Parts go in the opposite way of me, but I can work with that. I like to make my first character as close to me as possible. That's... Ooh, hold on. Let me go back to that one. Go back. There we go. Still on the opposite side. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that one, though. It doesn't capture the wavy hair that I have here in the front. So, I will go with that one. Yes. For color. My hair is really dark. It's almost black, but it's still brown. That's a little grayish. I'm kind of an older man. Maybe I should go with that one. This one, that one. Yeah, I'll go with this one. It's a little bit of gray in the beard and the hair, and especially for a cleric, that's not a bad thing to have. Facial hair. No, that's an epic beard right there. I don't know if I want that one, though. Ooh, okay. Goatee, if I still had my goatee. Aw, too bad you can't double up on these beards. That'd be awesome. Not bad. That's not bad. I kind of want the beard, though. You know what? Yeah, I got the full beard. I'm going to go with the beard just because it makes it look kind of epic. It's got the nice elderly, or not elderly, but elder-looking holy man appearance to him, so we'll go with that. Eye color. Oh, he's currently pure white right now. Eye color is always kind of difficult for me to do with characters because my eyes are actually two different colors. And I don't mean one eye is one color and another eye is another color. I mean that both eyes actually have two colors in them. For me, it's like a hazel brown around the pupil and then green on the outside. So I usually kind of go for this like yellowish look on the eyes, usually. Eyelid height, I'm not going to bother changing too many of the actual physical features. I figure I'll leave them all just kind of like in the middle and like generic looking. Eventually I'll go through and maybe change some stuff, but that's okay. Alright, so the appearance is set. For equipment, what do we want? Well, we're going to need a hand free at some point to cast spells, won't we? Let's see, highest value. For our mace, what do we want? Mace, hand axe, Great Club. Great Club is a two-handed weapon, I'm assuming. Yes, it is. Mace is 1d6. Hand axe is 1d6. Dagger's what, a 1d... Yeah, 1-4. Short spear, sickle. How does the hand axe look? Is it... Can we use a hand axe? There we go. Ugh, I don't like it. It's not good nice at all. I like that mace. The mace will work. Club and a quarterstaff. And for the shield... Yeah, we'll stick with the shield. Okay. What do we want for... Whoop, where'd the armor go? Uh-oh. Oh, armor. Dear. Scale Mail Curious. Armor class 4... Okay. Boots. Medium boots. Are we wearing any boots? We are. What's the difference? Requires proficiency medium. Okay, but they're not really giving us any protection. I don't want to go down to leather because that's going to give less protection. So, yeah, it's giving us options for stuff, but it's not giving us options for stuff. Go figure. Alright, whatever. Here we go. Combine the helpful magic of healing and inspiring their allies with the spells that harm and hinder foes. Some evil doers benefit most from the mace to the head, so clerics don't neglect combat training. When making a cleric, make wisdom your highest ability score, followed by constitution and strength. Okay, I do want to check one thing real quick. Because as I said before, I am a min-maxer. Max dexterity is a +2. So that means that the highest we really want to go for dexterity would be a 14 if we were trying to maximize our defenses. So that'll go up high. Constitution, yep, similar to building a character in real life with a point buy system. We can't go above a 15, but we do get a +1 to one stat, to two different stats that we get to choose. So wisdom will be one of them, and let's see how the it automatically con is 1 already. That's weird. Oh, wait, this is vastly different. Variant humans are apparently a little different. Maybe they don't have feats in this game, which would be weird. Strength we obviously want pretty high. Constitution, ooh. Let's see. Constitution we can get up to a 15. I don't really like that much. We need 1 in wisdom. So our strength, dexterity, and con are all kind of balanced out. Our wisdom is pretty high up there, and our intelligence and charisma have kind of suffered. I know I was big into 3-5 in Pathfinder when I played D&D, so I know charisma used to be pretty important for a cleric. But again, this is why I really kind of wanted to play a fighter, because I don't really have to worry about that much with a fighter. It's basically strength and con, and everything else be damned. But I don't want to make it be that boring. So let's see how this cleric works. I kind of like this. I'm not that happy with it, but I kind of like it. Yeah, this is going to be really the best I can do. And I also have to remember, because of 5th edition compared to 3.5, in 3.5 you can get your character's stat scores up really, really high, depending on how you build them and what magical items you have. With this, building a character starting out, you can only spend up to 15 total with no racial stats put in. So the fact that I have almost everything to that, well, my physical attributes to that point, and my one spellcasting attribute beyond that, that's a pretty good cleric, at least in my opinion. But I do have one other racial point to spend. That's annoying. I hate it when I have a point left over. Let's see. Okay, here we go. If I drop 1 point out of wisdom from the actual buy cost, because obviously the higher you go, the more expensive they are, I can then put the racial point into wisdom. And so look at this. We have 2 points that we can still buy into. 3. Okay. So yeah, look, our stats are literally the same, but now we have 2 extra points to put somewhere. Do I want to put it into my intelligence or my charisma? Because obviously if I buy in a strength, dexterity, or con, they're all going to go up to 15, and that'll cost 2 points. And I can't put more into wisdom, but again, that's 2 points as well. So it's either going to have to go into intelligence or charisma. For me, I like being a craftsman sometimes, but for a cleric especially, you're supposed to be a people person. So I'm going to put it into charisma, so we're at least balanced out with a 0, with a 10 being a 0. So we'll go with that. Oh, okay, so we do have some stuff we can do here. What do we have? Abilities. Divine, Righteous Champion, Light, Life, War, Protection, Martial, Skills and Proficiencies. Wow, okay, so this is pretty involved. All right, divine abilities represent the power of the gods channeled directly through their followers. This is what I like. They involve such miracles as fire from the air, yes, pillars of flame shooting up from the ground, and even the power to split the very earth itself. Hi, Jesse. Here we go. Righteous Champion. Champions who fight in the name of their gods are imbued with a bit of that god's power, enough to strike down their enemies with divine righteousness and send the foulest of enemies running in fear. How about healing? That would be the Light. Clerics of Light promote the ideals of rebirth and renewal, truth, vigilance, and beauty, which the gods they follow represent. While most of these abilities focus on healing the injured, the power of Light can also be a powerful weapon against the servants of darkness. Okay, so it's healing as well as damage. Life. Chief among the divine servants' duties is to grant salvation to aid others. Through a variety of blessings and chants, the heroes can bolster their allies, restore the cursed and injured, and bring hope to those in need of aid. So this seems like a dedicated healing and restoration one. Holy champions who follow the war excel in battle and inspire those around them. Almost exclusively offensive in nature, offensive, not offensive. War abilities focus on dealing massive amounts of divine damage, smiting one's enemies on the battlefield with righteous fury. Sounds kind of paladin-ish. And protection, I'm assuming, is tanky. Okay, so. And martial is to use weapons, I'm assuming without magic. So, let's see. Let's take a look at the abilities here, figure out what it is we want to do. Produce flame. Conjures a flickering flame in the caster's hand, which is quickly hurled at the enemy in range. On hit, the target takes 2 to 8 fire damage. So that right there is more powerful than our weapon. Divine Strike infuses the caster's weapon with divine energy. With each strike when the caster hits the creature, the attack deals 4 to 9 radiant. I hate it when my game does that. Now, the question for me then becomes, is that 4 to 9 radiant damage on top of what my weapon does or by itself? Sacred Flame. Wreathes chosen target in flame-like radiance. The target must succeed on a DC 13 dexterity throw or take 2 to 8 radiance damage. And then Cure Wounds. Okay, so there's our first healing spell, aside from maybe this one. Bless. Bless now within range. Whenever an affected target makes an attack roll, a saving throw. Okay. What do we have here? Slams a target with a shield, which I do have a shield, but I don't really care about that. Hurls a spear attached to a chain, probably pulls them in. Okay. So, I already know this one. Okay. So, what do we do from here? Requirements not met. Requirements not met. Okay. Oh, okay. So, these are all abilities we know, and then we can spec into them from there. So, calls upon the caster's deity to heal a chosen target, which I wonder if it can be me. Conjures a celestial force that shines down from the heavens toward the targeted creature. Creature must make a DC 13 dexterity. Ooh. 9 to 27 radiant damage, or half as much on a successful save. I'm going to learn that one, because that one's already doing some pretty hardcore damage. I'm not going to bother upgrading it, though, because going from a 9 to 27 to a 10 to 33, that's not that big of a change. Calls upon whenever it takes attack roll, saving throw. No, I'm going to hold off on that one. Don't meet any of those requirements. Don't care about shield bash. Hurls a spear. I looked at that already. Strike a foe with a... Okay, whatever. Here we go. Skills. Search I already have. I haven't learned search yet. But I know stabilize, I know weapon proficiencies, and I know through all of these. I don't... Oh, crap. I can actually get proficiency in heavy armor. Which, I believe if I did that, that would negate the need for me to use dexterity. Huh. Okay, so I did a little bit of research real quick. Splint Mail, which is apparently the highest you can get starting out, does allow for a 0 dexterity, so no points carry over. So I do want to go to a heavy armor set for this character, I think. So what I've done is I've lowered the dexterity down to 10. I've raised up the constitution and the wisdom. So apparently this character will be pretty good in melee, but he's going to have to depend more so on his ability to cast spells. So let's see if we can get some Celestial Strike. We'll get that back in there. Let's see. Oh, we got to actually put in for the heavy armor proficiency. Stabilize we have already. Martial weapon proficiency we have. We're looking at here. Rapier, scimitar. Those would probably be better for damage, but I'm not too concerned about those right now. Produce flame we can't do anything with. Divine Strike. Healing Word. Yep, we do want to be able to heal. We don't have enough points to buy into it. Okay, so we were able to buy 2 abilities, it seems. So next. Yeah, okay, so the character I'm most used to running the name with is actually Dorian Almax. It was the name of my very first D&D character I ever played, but back then he was a fighter. And then when I joined the Dragonfisters, it was the first character I ever played, but this was Dorian Almax, the Cleric. 2 completely different characters. This one I'm going to try to play similar to the original Dorian. What was he? He was Chaotic Good. Chaotic Good? I think it was, yeah. Chaotic Good. Deity. Do you have Palor on here at all? Or anything that looks like a sun god? Ah, Moradin's in there. I might go with Moradin. I have no problem with him. Tempest was nice for my fighter, but... yeah, looks like I'm going to have to go Moradin on this one. I know it's a dwarven god, but the character I played was actually raised for the most part by dwarves.
Hello there.
Of course. Listen up.
Certainly.
Excuse me.
Eridan?
Hello there. Certainly. Hello there. Might I have a moment of your time?
Yes. Psst. Come here a second. Very well. Listen up.
These voices are all kind of bad, actually.
Hello
So I'll go with this one. History. Okay, I can change the history, but obviously I'm not going to do that with you guys right now. Yeah, so... I want you to edit this game. We continue. Oh, didn't want to cancel that. Okay, accepting. All right. And our character is made. Wow, I really didn't think that was going to take an entire episode, let alone run this long. All right, guys, I apologize. I didn't think it was going to take that long, but as I did mention before, making a D&D character, for me at least, takes days typically. So the fact that I was able to do it in less than 25 minutes, I'm happy with that. So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. If you guys enjoyed what you've seen and heard, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And having said all that, I'll see you guys on the other side. Take care.